Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. If you are new to my What's for Dinners, I do 3 easy recipes each week. They're very family friendly. They don't have a lot of crazy ingredients, anything that's going to cost you a ton of money. They're just things that we enjoy and we want to share with you. For our first meal this week, it is inspired by my favorite thing from Sam's Club, and that is their chicken fried rice. You can get it, I'll pop a picture up here. You can get it in their frozen section, but it's very popular and a lot of times it is out of stock. And we've eaten the last of it here, and I was craving it and I haven't been able to find it in store, so I decided I would recreate it. I found a recipe for Instant Pot chicken fried rice. The great thing is if you want to make it on the stovetop, you can still do that. You can boil your rice separately, cook everything separately, and put it all together. I'm going to do it the Instant Pot, but if you don't have one, no big deal. You can still make this recipe. I'm excited to give it a try and compare it to our favorite chicken fried rice from Sam's Club, but let's get started. Okay, this recipe does not have a lot of chopping and dicing, just a little bit. I'm going to chop up some green onion just for garnish. I'm gonna be leaving the peas out of this recipe. I'm not a big pea fan, so we're gonna leave that out. I'll have the recipe linked below, so if this is something you're interested in, you can always check that out. It's in my description box. The recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic, but these 2 cloves were really large, so I'm just going to be using 2. Don't tell Steven. You know his motto is always more garlic. The next thing I need to do is rinse this rice. I have never used jasmine rice. I'm really excited to give it a try. The recipe highly recommended it, but I need to rinse it until the water runs clear. That just helps it not be so sticky. Okay, I just need 1.5 cups of this rice. I'm always scared that's gonna fall. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave this over here to drain for just a couple of minutes while we get started. Okay, so I've got my Instant Pot here. I'm gonna turn it on to saute. And while that starts to warm up, I am going to whisk together my 2 eggs. I've got a couple of teaspoons of vegetable oil in here. I'm going to use half now and half again in a minute. So I'm going to pour about half of this in. I'm going to wait for that to heat up, and then we're going to pour our eggs in and scramble those. Okay, these have scrambled. It only took about a minute. I'm going to remove out my eggs. Remove out. Yep, that's what I'm doing. It's okay if a little bit stays behind. We'll scrape it all up here in just a minute. Okay, let's put the rest of our vegetable oil in there and throw our garlic in to saute for just a minute. Okay, that is good. I can smell it really well. Let's turn this off. I'm gonna hit cancel. And now we need to put in just a little of our chicken broth and scrape up the bottom so we don't get the burn notice. Let me grab another spatula that I can scrape with. Okay, so I'm gonna put in just a little, like I said. And just scrape the bottom. My wooden spatula would have been better for this, but I don't know where it's at. Okay, now that I've got all of that scraped off the bottom, we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. So I'm gonna add in the rest of our chicken broth. In total, we have 1 cup and 1/4 of chicken broth. I'm gonna add in our diced chicken. This is about 1 pound of chicken that I have cubed into like 1/2-inch pieces. Now I'm gonna throw in our cup of diced carrots. And lastly, our 1.5 cups of jasmine rice. Now the recipe says just to push the rice down so it's submerged in the water, but we don't want to stir. Okay, now I'm gonna close this up and we're gonna cook it on high pressure for 3 minutes. Okay, so I forgot to mention, after the 3 minutes, we're gonna let it slow or natural release for 10 minutes, and then we'll release the rest of the pressure and finish it up. Okay, I just turned it off, and I'm gonna release the remainder of the pressure. There's not a whole lot left. Okay, let's take the lid off. It looks good. Now let's add in our soy sauce. You will just use 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. And 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. I keep forgetting, several of you have told me if I get a binder clip, like a large binder clip, and clip it to the side, it'll keep it from turning. I keep forgetting to do that. Lastly, you would throw in your peas if you're using peas, and then your scrambled eggs. And then we will put our green onion on top, but let's give this a shot. Hopefully we like it.
Rice in the Instapot.
That's right.
Well, it looks good. Smells good. It's got the eye test.
It looks good, so it has the eye test. Is that what you mean?
Pass the eye test. Let's try the taste test now. So something I meant to do and I forgot is I wanted to buy some soybeans, like the one from Sam's Club has. I'm gonna do that next time. Is it good? Mm-hmm. Really good. It doesn't taste like a bad copycat fried rice, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it doesn't have that like strange flavor to it or whatever. When you try to, it's really good.
Yay!
Great flavors.
Cole loves it.
Love the veggies.
So you think, would you like me to add the soybeans in next time like we have in the...
Yeah, try that next time.
Yeah,
try that.
I meant to do that because I like the little crunch of the soybeans in the one from Sam's Club. So, oh yeah, add you some Yum Yum sauce.
Yum Yum sauce here.
If you don't know what Yum Yum sauce is, it's basically if you go to the Japanese restaurant and you get the shrimp sauce, that's what that is. We like?
Very good. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Really good rendition of fried rice cooked in the Instapot. It's hard to believe that it's actually this good.
Yay. I almost forgot to update y'all. I'm in love with it. It is so good. Cole had 2 bowls. Steven is on his 2nd bowl. It is delicious. Definitely a keeper. Okay, so this next night, the sound did not work. You'll have technical difficulties from time to time, so I'm going to just voice over this entire portion. This second night we are having chicken Parmesan casserole. It's a very simple one using a rotisserie chicken, very little cooking involved. Let's get started. Here's all the ingredients we'll need for tonight's meal, and then I'm going to be serving it with this kale pecan cranberry salad from Walmart. It is the Market Side brand. We've really fallen in love with it. It comes with a Dijon dressing. It's really good. So the first thing I need to do is just shred up this rotisserie chicken. I didn't quite shred up the entire chicken. I left a couple of wings. We'll probably have those at lunchtime tomorrow, but the rest of the chicken, it was a pretty small rotisserie chicken, I did shred up, and now I just need to get my pasta water ready. While I'm waiting on my pasta water to come to a boil, I just wanted to show you that I was preheating the oven to 350.
I'm just going to put a little salt in our boiling water, and then I only need about half of this container. This is 1 pound of penne pasta. You only need a half a pound for this recipe. I boiled our pasta for about 10 to 11 minutes, and now I'm just draining it and making a mess while I drain it, because that's what I do best, is make messes. I'm going to add all of our drained pasta back to the pot. I'm also going to be adding in all of our chicken. Next, I'm adding in an entire jar of Prego marinara sauce. It's a 24 ounce. I always add just a little bit of water back to the jar and shake it all up, and then pour the rest of that back in. That just gets all of that extra pasta sauce that's in there, gets it all loose, and you just make sure that you get every last little drop. Now I'm adding in just a couple of teaspoons of Italian seasoning. The entire recipe calls for 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. You're going to put in half now. The recipe also calls for a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, but I still had some of this left over, this shredded Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to use more like a cup. Y'all know, if you've been here for a while, we love our cheese, but I'm going to add about half of that now. Okay, now I'm going to take this back over to the stove and stir it up really good and put it on medium-low and just let it heat through and melt that cheese, and then we'll be transferring it to a baking dish. Now it's time to make our topping. This is 3/4 a cup of panko breadcrumbs. I'm also going to add in about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of garlic powder. And now I'm going to melt down these 2 tablespoons of butter and add that in. And that's going to go on top of our casserole. And right about here, I noticed that there is a piece of the butter paper still left in the butter. There you go. Cooking with Mandy at its finest. I've got a medium-sized baking dish. It's not a 9 by 13. It's more like a 7 by 9 maybe. I sprayed it with some vegetable oil, and now I'm just going to put all of this yummy goodness on the bottom. Now it's time to add our remaining cheeses on top. So I'm going to put the rest of our Parmesan cheese and the rest of our mozzarella cheese all over the top, and then we'll come in with those panko breadcrumb mixture and put that on the top before it goes in the oven. Now this is going in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes, and that's it.
I don't know what I'm getting into here. I just know that it looks good, it smells good, it's pasta.
Well, he was not in there when I was cooking this, so this will be a treat. Hopefully it's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yes. Love the cheesiness of it. Like it's just loaded with cheese. Cheese on top. I guess cheese within.
And it's got breadcrumbs on top too.
Oh yeah. Great flavor in this.
There's rotisserie chicken in there.
Rotisserie chicken. Okay,
Yep.
rotisserie chicken.
Yep. And the marinara sauce and the cheeses.
Right. And is there something in with the breading?
There's some garlic powder and butter.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yep.
I was getting the
And there's
garlic powder in there.
Italian seasoning too.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I was getting the garlic flavor in with the breadcrumbs there.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna dig in. This plate looks so pretty. Okay, my opinion of this is it's really good. And I think a lot of my opinion has to do with how easy it was. So that makes me really want to try it again. But it is such a great, easy meal. Y'all gotta try this one. Okay, y'all, it is our third meal of the week, and you know what that means. It is Subbie Supper night. Well, Subbie Supper lunch for us today. But you know what I mean. Our Subbie Supper comes from Rachel this week. Rachel said that her friend Veronica shared this with her, and while it's not something she would typically gravitate towards, they have fallen in love with it. And I have to agree. It is a vegan burrito. We are not vegan, y'all know this, but I've had a lot of you request things like this, like no meat meals. So I thought we would give this one a try because it sounds a little on the spicy side and it sounds right up our alley. I'm really excited about it. Rachel and her husband Joshua have been married for 10 years. They have 2 kids. They have a 5-year-old and a 4-month-old, and they live in Nashville, Tennessee, and they are youth pastors at their church. She said she has really developed a love for cooking and really likes finding new recipes. Like I mentioned, this one is completely different than anything we've ever done. We've never really done a vegan meal, and I'm gonna be real honest with you. We're gonna add cheese and sour cream at the end. So the toppings of ours is not gonna be vegan, but you get the gist. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing this with me. Thank you, Veronica, for sharing it with Rachel. Let's get started. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, I'm gonna be doing this in the Instant Pot. The original recipe does not call for that, but it gives instructions on how to do that. Y'all know I've recently become somewhat obsessed with my Instant Pot. I used to be scared of it, but now I love it. So I'm gonna be doing it in the Instant Pot. When you click on the link below, the original recipe is just on the stovetop. Just as easy. So just wanted to give you that heads up. I know I've shared 2 Instant Pot meals this week, but both of them can be cooked without the Instant Pot. Okay, I need to chop up both of these. I don't think I'm gonna use the entire red onion just because it's pretty large. And we're gonna chop this up. They both need to be chopped pretty small, so I'm gonna use my chopper today. I haven't used it a whole lot lately on camera, but I just thought I would use this today. Okay, I'm gonna mince these 3 garlic cloves. And lastly, I've already got some pre-chopped kale. I bought it already chopped at the grocery store, but it says to chop it pretty finely. So I'm gonna run the knife through it really quickly. You only need a cup of it, so I think this will be plenty. All right, that's all the chopping we've got to do. Let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna turn my Instant Pot to saute. We'll let that heat up for just a couple of minutes. We are going to saute our veggies. So these and our garlic, we'll do that, and then we will throw all the rest of the ingredients in and cook it. I'm gonna wait for this to come up to temperature, but go ahead and add some olive oil in the bottom to saute our veggies in. Okay, I think our oil is ready. I'm gonna add in our onion and our bell pepper. And I'm also gonna go ahead and add our garlic. We're just gonna saute this for like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so this has been sauteing for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna hit cancel. And I don't really have anything burned down on the bottom. It said to make sure you deglaze, but I don't need to. So let's add in the rest of our ingredients. I've got a 15-ounce can of black beans that I drained and rinsed.
1.5 cups of frozen corn, 1.5 cups of brown rice, our 1 cup of finely chopped kale. We need 12 ounces of salsa. I got the medium restaurant style. This is a 16 ounce, I think. Let's see. Yes, so I don't need quite this entire jar. Two cups of water. And our spices. I've got 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Okay, we're not gonna stir it a whole lot, but just gonna give it a quick little stir, make sure all of our rice is down in there. Let's put the lid on this, turn it to sealing, and we're gonna cook this on high pressure for 24 minutes. After the 24 minutes, we're gonna let it naturally release, and then it will be time to eat.
So I got a little ambitious with your filling, babe.
All right, we'll figure this out.
I learned the hard way because, yeah, mine looks a lot better. His is a little overstuffed, but
Delicious.
yeah.
Tex-Mex, love it.
And you said this was
Doesn't-
vegan apart from the...
Yeah, it's vegan. It doesn't have any animal byproducts or anything except for the sour cream and cheese that I put
But
on
it
top.
would taste fine without that.
Yeah. So it's good and hearty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't miss the meat. Yay!
Not much of a spice, but just a little kick.
Okay.
The rice and everything kind of reminds me of the Mexican rice that you made.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that.
Again, he was not in there when I was making this, so he has no idea. That's brown rice, by the way. It's not white rice.
Oh.
So I'm going to dig in. Gracie Lou, what do you think? You say hello?
I'm already done.
Yeah.
She literally just cut the camera. She just turned it off.
I turned the camera off to start eating, and he said, I'm done. So this is a lot easier to eat with our fork. These wraps are the spinach and herb wraps. I had them on hand already, so I didn't want to buy more tortillas, so I just thought we would use those. But Steven noticed that there was a smokiness to it. He asked me if there was some type of chipotle seasoning, and so he picked up on that smoked paprika. It is so good. I love this. And he was saying, you really could do this a lot of different ways, add different things. Cole went and got him some more. But we're really enjoying this. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing it. So, a couple of things. I was jumping on here just to kind of close out the video, and then I also realized I have 0 bloopers for the week. All 3 meals I cooked alone this week. Steven's been really busy with work, so there's very little bloopers. Like, there's just me like stumbling over my words every now and then, but that's really not that funny. It's just funny when we interact together. So unfortunately, I have no bloopers this week. Hopefully they'll be back next week. If you are new to my channel, each week at the end of What's for Dinner, I share a couple of minutes of bloopers of me and Steven in the kitchen because he's usually recording my What's for Dinner videos. So if you want to see those, go check out my older videos, and hopefully they'll be back next week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give these a try. Even if you don't have an Instant Pot, y'all, you can make these, and they were so easy. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button below if you haven't already. I would love for you to join my YouTube family. And that's it. I will see y'all next week. Bye.